Hello yous, welcome to some Trews. Here I am in a singlet, a father now, a dog and a cat owner, a man about the house, a man about the world, yearning to engage with you. Punkstar Bear says to me, because they want to know something, Russell, I know there are people complaining that this isn't the Trews anymore and when will there be real news again, but personally I think this is just, right, people want some real news. Look, you know what the news is. Brexit, we're worried about the financial implications. Trump, oh my God, isn't he mad? Terrorism, isn't it awful? Put any of those into this channel and you can see what I think. It's not changed. It's a merry-go-round of opinion. All right, so you know what I think about all of it. But personally, I think this is just what people need at the moment. It's a shame there isn't more like this. It is a shame. Well, actually, not for me, because then I'd start to feel competitive and insecure. If people want to see the world change, they're going to have to accept we all have to change on the inside first. Sorry, guys, that's the truth. But you make a good point there, Punkstar Bear, because if we do not alter, then I think about this quite a lot. If you're throwing a tennis ball against a wall, right, it'll just sort of, if you throw it in the same way, it will bounce back in the same way. But if the surface of that wall suddenly became sponge, the trajectory would alter. If we change, then everything will alter. Dragonheart Studio. So glad you're still doing these, Russell. Back during the election and in your book, you spoke of how important the local community is and that all change must be started at that level. I totally agree and use that mentality to care a lot less about what's happening in the wider political landscape. Do you think this is best or is it simply burying one's head in the sand? No, I don't think it is. I think not doing it is burying one's head in the sand. If you're sort of spending all the time on sort of message boards wondering about what Brexit and Trump might all mean, that is not as useful as going, right, this community, do you know what we're going to do? We're going to have this project, we're going to pursue these ends, and this is how we're going to get on. This is how we're going to provide for our needs, this is how we're going to get food, this is how we're going to organise it. Like, that's not the sand, that's reality. So I think that is the answer, because some form of decentralisation on a huge scale is the only way that significant change is going to occur. Communities becoming independent, a confederation of autonomous republic communities that intertrade, that are independent, that are able to provide for themselves and trade where necessary, but with beyond our current ideas on gross GDP and like world finances and things that I pull a face when I have to say them. So no, it's not burying your head in the sand. It's recognising that that spectacle is not going to provide you with any solutions anyway. It's just going to always do some version of what it's always done, just some sort of bandwidth of mad, frizzling, frazzled madness. Vanessa Russell, I've been on a course getting a degree in history, now changed the course of my journey, recently getting a degree towards medicine. Now I'm terrified of the fact that I may be too old to change course, because I would finish my degree around 30. I'm 23 by the way. I've always wanted to be a doctor, but I'm starting all over again from day one if I do. Pursue your dream if you want to be a doctor. Start again. What you got to lose? 30. Say, like, you know, we don't know how long you're going to live, or me, do you? Say you're going to live to 90, or you might live to 75. Great big gap of 15 years there. So, you know, we're just rolling the dice anyway. Don't look at life quantitatively, is what I would say to you. It's not like, store it up, some nice life. More beetroot juice. Clinging on. That's another day done. What is your life if you're not pursuing your bliss? Matty Z. Hey Russell, I finished reading Sapiens and found the parts about the cognitive, agricultural, industrial and scientific revolutions mind-blowing. Any other books you recommend about the human condition? Yeah, this is called Encounter with the Self, a Jungian commentary on William Blake's illustrations of the Book of Job. And then this Jungian analysis has analysed Blake's drawings, and this guy says, Edward F. Edinger, says that what Blake is illustrating is an archetypal struggle between the ego and the higher self. Yahweh, God, in this description, is the higher self version of Job. And what the Book of Job is describing is an encounter with the egoic self. That as long as we have some form of attachment to the egoic self, there is suffering. It's very, very different from Sapiens, but it's short and it's easy to understand. It gives you different notions and different ways of understanding the conception of God. In one bit I like, it introduces the idea of God as phenomena, like the idea of good and evil, and that there is a transcendent way of looking at that, the way we categorise those ideas. It's very, very challenging, and that it is our goodness, our lovingness to one another that establishes the general goodness of a transcendent phenomena. Put simply, if we're not good, then even God isn't good. It's an interesting worldview, I recommend it. Well, those were some true views for you from me by old Russ, where I talked about things like art, humanity, and never once did I pause to think, what if my opinions don't matter? I simply ploughed straight onwards, as you must. Subscribe here if that's what you choose to do with your time. You probably have to go there and subscribe, then you probably have to put your email. Sounds like a lot of trouble. See you soon.
Nose is a tool that is abused to fool you and to leave you scared and confused. Trews is like the nose. If the nose was true, I want some trews. Let's have some trews.